Hello and welcome to another episode of Sellers Society, right here on our YouTube channel, Amazon Sellers Society. Are you ready? Let's get to work. So Sellers Society is not only the name of the series, the special series, but it is also the name of our latest software. If you are selling on Amazon, if you are a beginner and you're selling on Amazon and you are having the same exact problem that most sellers have when they launch their products on Amazon, you basically don't know how much money you're making. Sellers Society can link to your Amazon account wherever you sell, UAE, KSA, Egypt, any Amazon marketplace, as well as your Shopify store. And it can help you understand exactly how much money you're making. You basically have to input your cost of goods and let the Sellers Society system do all the calculations for you. Sellers Society can help you get data that can help you make decisions such as, should I be reducing my ad spend? Should I be increasing my selling price? Is this product profitable at this selling point? All of those things, we can help you with them. All you need to do is sign up to Sellers Society. Go to our website right now, sellerssociety.io. With that being said, in tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about your favorite subject, and that's PPC ads. Most of you comment on the videos here on the channel and also send me private messages saying, help, my PPC ads are not working. So in this episode, I'm going to be interviewing, and you're going to meet right now Rick Wong, who is the CEO of SellerMetrics. He'll introduce himself and he'll talk a little bit about SellerMetrics. And we're going to be talking about the three main reasons why your ads are not performing. Basically, let's say why you are not getting any sales, even though your product is active on Amazon and even though you're making ads. Let's get started and let's introduce you to Rick. Hi, Rick. How are you? Thank you so much for being with us.
For having me. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Same to you. We're off to a fantastic 2022. Before we get started and we answer the main concern of a lot of people, like my ads are not performing, what am I doing wrong? Please, Rick, even though you've been on the channel multiple times, can you introduce yourself and talk a little bit about SellerMetrics as well?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Rick Wong, and I'm the founder and CEO of SellerMetrics. So my journey began as an Amazon seller 4 years ago. I grew a consumer electronics, Amazon native only brand on Amazon. Grew it to well over 6 figures a month, and I sold that business in 2020. And around the late 2020, I decided to create SellerMetrics, which is an Amazon PPC software. It is used to help Amazon sellers scale and automate their ads on the Amazon advertising platform. So the key is to basically use automation and best practices to streamline your ads to make sure that you get the best ROI as possible.
I know you created SellerMetrics, Rick, because of, well, most of us create these softwares because we have the same issues when we start selling on Amazon. So that was something that you experienced yourself, and that's why you wanted to create the software to help people talk about ads. I was joking when I said everybody's favorite subject. I don't think it's actually everybody's favorite subject.
Yeah, so, unfortunately, it's like unfortunately, it's those subject that like people hate, but it's necessary. Like I was like, it's literally like math in high school, right? Like you don't like it, but you do need it, right? You have to pass it.
Spot on, exactly like math, 100%. So Rick, let's start dissecting this problem, which you also get a lot, especially when somebody that's launching their product on Amazon, or they have just recently launched their product on Amazon. And they just start an auto campaign as an example, of course, and they just don't see any sales. and what should they do? What kind of mindset should they have in order to kind of figure out what the problem is and how they can solve it? Obviously, it's not always related to the ads themselves, and that's why maybe step number one is validating your actual listing. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think before validating the actual listing, I think you have to look at like the market in a more holistic level. So look at where who your competitors are, right? I mean, by looking at competitors, just have like a kind of mindset of a shopper, whether they would pick your product over your competitors, right? So a few things in terms of like having your listing, right, your product being more attractive to your competitors. There's one, obviously your pricing, so that's a big one. So is your product competitively priced? Two, the reviews. Three, the shipping options, right? If your competition is all doing FBA, where they get the product in one day, and here you are offering FBM, where okay, you'll get to the order like maybe in a day or two, right, and ship it, right? Obviously, not only the shopper, but Amazon will get preference to your competitors because they know that they would satisfy the customer much quicker than you, right? So at the end of the day, Amazon is trying to satisfy the customer. So one is the key thing is the shipping, whether your shipping is competitive to your competitors, and then there is the function of price and reviews, right? So if you don't have any reviews, right, that means that you have to price a bit lower. That is just the way it is, right? So you just have to look at those factors, right? As looking at a shopper, at what price point, you could lower where a review that has like a listing that has 20 reviews versus you have 10 reviews. At what price point would they actually prefer your 10 review listing versus the 20, right? I think that is more a subjective thing, but that is something that you need to think about, because if you're too off the market, you're simply not going to be chosen.
Yeah. 100%. I like the fact that you always say, you need to do your due diligence, or at least you need to do your homework before thinking, before even advertising, and before thinking that ads are the reason. And that's something that's very, very important and very insightful. Like, yes, you need to figure out, is your listing okay? Because just the idea of ads doesn't mean you're going to start getting more sales, because ads give you exposure. If what they are exposing isn't something that people want or people would even think of buying, then you're not going to get any sales. No ad can help you. So that's why I'm happy we started with focus on what you're doing and compared to your competitors, because you're always competing on Amazon, whether you like it or not. You're always competing.
Every time when like the search begin for a product for a customer is like the search bar, and you're competing on the search results with the other results, right? So the idea is that you have to make some way for the customer to pick you versus the others, whether it's price. And then that's my second, the second thing in terms of what you need to do in terms of, trying to get that initial traction. So number two is to make sure your listing is optimized, right? I think I say it all the time. Like I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but it's true. Like a lot of new sellers, I see the listing is not well optimized, like the photo. So you just have to be honest with yourself. Look at your listing subjective compared to your competitors. Is your photos better, right? Are you using the top, the all seven product listing spot, right? If you're not using all the spots, like all the slots, such as the 200 character limit on the title, the 5 bullet point, and the A+ content and the description, right? You're leaving yourself short. You're leaving your listing short compared to your compared to your competitors, right? So, and also Amazon does give extra potential ranking to sellers that use all the spaces that are available, all the metadata that's available. Number one, it allows Amazon algorithm to catch on to more data, right? To make the match, right, to your, whether the customer search query, whether it is Amazon PPC. It just gives Amazon more data to catch on to make the match, right? And number two, Amazon do give some preferable treatment to sellers that use all the data points, right? So that's something to think about, right? And at the end of the day, it's always like a competition with Amazon. And the third reason is specifically on the ads, right? And again, it's the competitive factor, like in ads, right? As in any auction. So in Amazon PPC, it's basically an auction, but for ad placements, right? Whether it's like, imagine a real time billboard in the highway, and there's people like bidding for their ad to be on the billboard any given second, right? So as we all know that in any auction, right, only the competitive bids are considered, right? If you're bidding too low, you won't even be in the game. So you got to make sure that when you make a bid, right, it needs to be a competitive bid. So one way to start, so I think with Amazon, right, a lot of people say that it's a way for Amazon to grab additional revenue on Amazon advertising is the suggested bids. So that is the bid that Amazon sees in their ad in their ad bidding auction, that they're seeing like in terms of like a band range of what people is bidding for that particular keyword. So as a new seller, that gives you an idea how much you should bid. And a lot of times the new sellers, since they're new, a lot of times they should need to bid at the higher end of that band range to be in competition. Because quite simply, your listing is brand new, right? So the only way that Amazon would take a chance on you for that particular keyword or that particular placement is that you need to bid a bit higher than your competition. That's just a matter of fact. So if you're not getting any impression early on, it could be two things. Your listing is not quite optimized, right? That's my second point. The third point is your bid is just simply not high enough.
Got it.
Yeah.
So instead of saying the ads are the problem, if you've launched your product and you see you're not getting sales, whether you are advertising or not, but of course you should be advertising, you should do those 3 steps. Number 1, compare your listing to other competitors. Check FBA, FBM, check reviews, check selling price. Number 2, make sure your listing is optimized, enough images and high quality images, 5 bullet points, fully optimized title. That is for both the customer as well as the Amazon algorithm. You're optimizing for two people, the actual customer and Amazon. Yeah. And number 3, go through your ads and make sure that you are bidding correctly. Correct?
Yes, correct. Yeah. And
Rick,
in terms of the last point.
Go ahead.
Yeah, in terms of the last point, also play around with the different ad types. So we talked about
that's exactly
bids,
what I wanted to ask you. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So use all ad types. So sponsored products, sponsored brand, and I believe in UAE there's sponsored brand videos now. Like, do you know?
Yes, there is.
Yeah, there is. So definitely play around with that, especially if it's a new ad type on Amazon. The bid, the auction's normally low. So by being like the first mover on anything, it gives you an advantage. So use that. So sponsored display as well. Play around with the different sponsored display types. So the audience and also the PAT, the product targeting.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Rick, for your time and all of these your amazing insight. If anybody wants to reach out to you, I'm definitely going to leave the link of SellerMetrics as well as our generous discount code, all linked in the description box of this video. But how can they reach out to you, especially if they have further questions and clarity around PPC?
Yeah, so I think if you want, you could, the easiest way to reach out to me is my email, rick.wong@sellermetrics.app, or you could reach out to me on basically the bottom right help link on my
Through the website,
on
yeah.
my homepage as well. So if you have any questions on Amazon PPC or more questions about SellerMetrics as a potential user, feel free to reach out to me.
Perfect. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Make sure that you click the like button, share this video so that other people can get more information about PPC, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.